The Israeli military carried out more airstrikes across Syria overnight into Tuesday as a part of their effort to destroy weapons, aircraft, and military facilities that could pose a threat to Israel following the collapse of the brutal Assad regime. The Israeli defense minister said today that he and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had instructed the military to create in southern Syria a zone free of weapons and terrorist threats. It's a move that has been condemned by UN officials and some Middle Eastern nations, including Iran, which is urging the United Nations Security Council to respond. But does anyone really want weapons to fall into the hands of Islamist rebels who have ties to terrorism? With me now to discuss this and more is retired Lieutenant General Jerry Boykin, Executive Vice President here at the Family Research Council. General Boykin spent the last 4 years of his 36-and-a-half-year military career serving as the Deputy Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence. He was also one of the original members of the U.S. Army's Delta Force. General Boykin, welcome to Washington Watch.
It's good to be back.
And yes. And you'll notice I'm in your honor, I'm wearing a pink shirt tonight, all right? So just wanted you to be aware of that.
No comment.
All right. Let's talk about, yesterday we were on discussing Syria, the fall of Bashar al-Assad, his regime. Israel taking this opportunity to move rapidly to make sure that what was left behind there cannot be picked up and used against them. Smart move?
Absolutely. This is a big thing. And it's a great opportunity for Israel, too. And they're going to be criticized, obviously, for this. But they have an opportunity now to set the stage for actually being able to have negotiations with this incoming group if they're inclined to do so. And I think that what we have to be careful of is not putting lethal aid in their hands because we have a history of doing that.
Right. You're talking into the hands of the rebels.
In the hands of the rebels. Now, on the other hand, I think we ought to go in with massive humanitarian relief. Because there's still, from the Civil War that started in 2011, there's a lot of people that are displaced. And we've talked to some of them.
Right.
You know, we've dealt with some of the Christians and others in that part of the country. So, but they are going to need massive aid if they want to get this country back together, and that will, in fact, help them to accept this new regime. If they could broker with us and the United Nations and others to get something in there that will be of real use to them.
Is this something that the incoming Trump administration could do to leverage humanitarian aid for certain parameters in terms of human rights, religious freedom, and other conditions?
Oh, yeah, there have to be caveats to it, absolutely. There's an enclave, and I'm not sure that everybody's aware of that, but there is an enclave up there that has Christians.
In the northeastern part of it.
Yeah, you have 3 different religions in there, so, and they live peacefully. They live together, and they live peacefully.
But Turkey is breathing down their necks.
Turkey, and sadly, when the Turks crossed the border into that area, under Donald Trump's leadership, he pulled the Americans out of there. And so they were able to do just about what they wanted to do when they went across that border down there. And you sent me and Michelle Bachmann and Carter over to sit down with his national security advisors to ask him, don't do this. But he did. Now, I'm not criticizing him because I'm one of those people that thinks that he's going to do a real service to this nation.
Earlier today, we were talking with Chris Mitchell, CBN, Middle East Bureau Chief, and he was saying that the Islamic rebels that overthrew Bashar al-Assad were being aided by Turkey, by Erdogan, and so that gives Turkey an in into Syria as he seeks to reestablish the caliphate, the Ottoman Empire, as his big dream.
Yeah, most of these people that are part of this rebel force were at one time called the Free Syrian Army, and I was working some stuff on the periphery on this when the Civil War was going on. And from all accounts, they had the right attitude. They were there for the right reasons. They wanted a democratic government, and they wanted to improve the lives of their people because Bashar al-Assad and his father before him lived an incredibly ostentatious lifestyle, sort of like Saddam Hussein when they finally saw what he was doing. So I think that I think there's a great possibility that we could see things turn around there.
Iran is a big loser in this because they were able to profit from the part of the relationship there with Syria. They're in bad shape in terms of their ability, no longer able to use Hezbollah. Hamas is decimated, so their proxies are pretty much gone. Could this force Iran into a more desperate position to pursue even more rapidly the nuclear capabilities?
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, that's a good question, and I don't really know how to answer that, to be honest with you, because I think that they're much closer than they let on to having a nuclear weapon right now if their delivery system is
Right.
what they've got problems with.
All right, just got a minute left, General. What should the incoming Trump administration do to head that off?
Oh, the toughest sanctions that we can possibly use against them should be done right away, immediately, because they are violating the JCPOA to start with, and this administration has done absolutely nothing in response to that.
They've unfrozen many assets and helped them actually fund their terrorist activities. That's what they've done.
Exactly right. That's right.
General Jerry Boykin, always great to have you on the program. Thanks for joining us.
Good to be with you.
And we're going to be watching this very, very closely.